So you tell me why you do it.
I don't have to tell you.
No?
Don't have an explanation.
At the moment, I think you're standing right next to the PIN code and filming police officers putting their PIN codes in.
Nah, I don't think you do.
Huh?
I don't think so, no.
No?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, at the moment, you're detained on the purpose of search under Section 43 of the Terrorism Act, okay, for a search. Okay, I believe PIN codes to the entrance.
Section 43, yeah?
Officers soon began relying on Section 43 powers while suggesting possible searches and increasing pressure for a phone to be handed over during the tense encounter. But the situation quickly took an unexpected turn because the auditor refused to react emotionally or lose control under the growing pressure from police. Instead, the auditor stayed calm, focused, and completely composed, while carefully pointing out contradictions and inconsistencies in the officer's statements, one by one. As the conversation continued, the pressure slowly shifted back onto the officers, and the entire interaction started becoming more intense with every passing moment. What began as a routine confrontation rapidly escalated into a serious exchange that revealed important lessons about authority, public rights, and how remaining calm can completely change the direction of an encounter.
You've got some pretty cool trainers on, I can't lie.
Thank you, sir. So why are you filming at the back?
You know
of the
why I'm
station?
filming,
No, I don't
man.
know.
Yeah, you already summed it up. Something about causing trouble and this and that. So there you go. Yeah, well, you already summed it up.
I'm asking you why
Man.
you're filming.
You know why I'm filming, man.
No, I don't know.
Yes, you do.
No, why are you filming?
You know too well why I'm filming.
No, not a clue.
Yes, you do. You said you've done this before, this and that, so...
It's a bit weird, I must admit. You seem to like want police interaction.
Okay, so you're going to search me now, yeah?
No, not necessarily, because I know who you are.
Okay, well, there you go. Let's leave it at that.
Okay, can you move on, please?
I can't move on, I'm afraid, no. I'm on a is this not a pavement?
This is a pavement, but
Okay,
you're
well
trying to
then-
film the back of a police station, aren't you?
Well, at the
you
moment,
could
I'm not
be a
filming
risk
that.
to the security of the police station.
Not really. It's just a back gate.
Right. You want to go stand over there, maybe?
Not really, no.
You're watching filming bits where people putting their PIN code in.
Okay, I won't
You're
film
filming
that. I
cars
won't
going
film
in.
that.
No, you say you don't do that, but
I don't
how
care
do
about
know?
anyone's PIN code. You know what this is?
No, I don't know what this
I'm
is.
not here to film PIN codes, mate.
Well, I don't know why.
Yes, you know.
Why do you choose to film?
Too well what this is.
Well, why do you do it? What's the circumstance of why you do it? That's not a silly question, is it? Because it's a weird thing to do.
It is I appreciate it's a weird thing to do, but...
So you tell me why you do it.
I don't have to tell you.
No?
Don't have an explanation.
At the moment, I think you're standing right next to the PIN code and filming police officers putting their PIN codes in.
Nah, I don't think you do.
Huh?
I don't think so, no.
No?
No.
You don't think so? You're standing right here next to the entrance where people tap their cards.
Yeah, I can assure you I'm not going to be filming any PIN code.
Well, not necessarily that I believe you, sir. You're standing right at the entrance and you do it all the time. You come around to the back of police stations and film. Did it at
I still
a little while ago.
still haven't caught any PIN codes.
How do we know?
Well, now I still don't know any PIN codes.
Really? How do I know that?
Really, because there's intelligence about me. You should know what this is.
Is it? What's your name?
It's not my job to tell you these things.
All right.
I'm not committing any offences, so...
Okay. All right. Well, at the moment, you're detained on the purpose of search under Section 43 of the Terrorism Act. Okay?
What happened during that encounter was a perfect example of how suspicion can quickly increase tension during a police interaction. The officer repeatedly pushed the auditor to explain why filming was taking place, while suggesting there may have been previous intelligence connected to the situation. Ordinary recording in a public area was slowly being treated as something dangerous, even though the auditor remained standing calmly on the pavement the entire time. Instead of arguing or rushing to defend himself, the auditor stayed controlled and refused to give unnecessary explanations which forced officers to fully stand behind the claims they were making. That moment became even more serious once Section 43 of the Terrorism Act was mentioned, because the legal standard connected to that power is much higher than simple discomfort or suspicion. Under UK law, Section 43 only allows an officer to stop and search someone if there is reasonable suspicion that the individual is involved in terrorism and that evidence connected to terrorism may be found. National police guidance in the UK also explains that taking photographs or filming openly in public places is not automatically prohibited by law. Simply recording from a public pavement does not on its own create lawful grounds for a terrorism-related search under Section 43. Powers. Even though the officer's language sounded investigative, the actual legal threshold still required clear facts, rather than assumptions or vague concerns. One important detail during the exchange was how the auditor never rushed to break the silence or talk himself into a weaker position. By remaining calm and refusing to volunteer information, he forced officers to move away from general suspicion and toward making a specific legal allegation they would later need to justify. The second terrorism powers entered the conversation, the entire dynamic changed, because authority now carried legal risk, and every statement suddenly mattered much more. The situation turned into a careful battle over facts, evidence, and legal standards, rather than emotions or pressure tactics. Encounters like this show why understanding the law can completely change the balance during public interactions with authority figures. When people know the legal threshold officers must meet, they become far less likely to surrender their position through panic or unnecessary explanations. Calm knowledge and patience often place far more pressure on authority than emotional reactions ever could.
Section 43, yeah?
Yep, section 43.
You gonna cuff me?
Not at the moment.
Right.
Put that down for me, please.
Can I not keep it in my hand?
No, just put it down because you've been taken for a search.
1 second, mate.
Right, I'm Sergeant Barton. I'm from Stoke Newington Police Station. I'll just tell you the reasons, alright? Okay, section 43 of the Terrorism Act. You may be filming stuff at the back of the police station, watching people put their pins in. You may be doing that for reasons, i.e. terrorism. Okay, you seem to do this at the back of the police station. That's some reasons for it. You haven't given your name. We're going to find your activity suspicious. Alright, so you are detained for purpose of this search. Okay. And you're entitled to a copy of the stick at the end of it. Right. Just going to get some blood spots. Keep an eye on them.
I've been detained for a start time now. Got that phone recording. Something about people. Something about
It's about you're watching, filming police officers. You've got one phone recording. Okay, you're obstructing my search by filming me on another phone. Put your phone away from me, please.
I'm not obstructing anything,
Okay.
it's there.
Can I take the phone off you, please?
I'll put it in my pocket.
Okay, under section 43 of the Terrorism Act. Okay, we are searching
You're
here.
shit.
Oh dear. Right, put that with your other phone.
I
Disgusting.
think it's
Isn't it?
just mud to be fair.
Mud, smells of shit. Right, you got anything on you shouldn't have, anything that might hurt me? No? Okay. Well, you've created this issue, haven't you? Because you've come to the police station and started filming.
You have a pretty good idea of what
at the rear
it is
gates.
I'm doing.
Well, I don't know why you're doing it. Yeah, because you are filming people going into the back of the police station, aren't you?
This is
And
a
you
pure
could well be
coincidence. I'm
filming.
not here, like,
It's not a coincidence, is it?
The situation suddenly became far more intense when the sergeant stepped forward and officially mentioned Section 43 while linking the auditor's filming activity to a police station and members of the public entering the area. Up until that point, much of the pressure coming from officers relied on vague suggestions and unclear suspicion rather than direct legal accusations. The moment terrorism powers were openly mentioned, the entire encounter shifted into a completely different category, with much higher legal consequences attached to every statement being made. Even with the pressure increasing, the auditor stayed calm, continued recording, and forced officers to clearly explain their reasoning out loud instead of hiding behind broad claims or general discomfort. That detail changed the balance of the encounter. Because once Section 43 was named, the officers now carried the responsibility of supporting that suspicion with real facts and lawful justification. The confidence shown by police earlier in the interaction appeared much stronger when the allegations remained broad and undefined, but the atmosphere changed once precise legal language became necessary. At that point, the conversation stopped feeling like casual questioning and became a serious legal test over whether reasonable suspicion actually existed under the law. This was the kind of moment where every word mattered, because unsupported assumptions could no longer stand on their own once terrorism legislation entered the discussion. Situations like this often become intense legal pressure points because authority suddenly faces accountability when specific powers are formally invoked. The encounter turned into a battle between speculation and evidence, with the auditor's calm approach, placing even more focus on whether officers could truly justify their actions. Understanding legal thresholds can completely reshape interactions like these, because people who know the standards are less likely to panic or hand over unnecessary explanations that weaken their position. Remaining calm, informed, and patient can sometimes force authority to defend itself far more carefully than it expected at the start of an encounter.
Why would it be
It's a pure coincidence. Us having this interaction is a pure coincidence. I haven't come here with the incentive to
you placed yourself. Thank you. Stand over there for a second. You placed yourself in the situation. You didn't use it. So I want to get out.
What's that shit, dude? My shit is
What makes that? Are you able to show me the footage?
Why would I do that?
You've done the footage,
I'll pick the phone back up.
Yes, please.
So if I don't show you the footage, what are you going to do? You're going to seize the phone,
You're still detained, yeah. Under
Okay.
Section 43 of the Terrorism Act.
So if I show you the footage, it's going to be consensual, isn't it?
Well, under Section 43 of the Terrorism Act, so read it out to you. I can get it up to you if you want.
No, I'm well aware of the legislation.
You
mate.
are well aware of
So
it.
if I show you the phone, that's consensual. Because otherwise we just have to seize the phone.
I will arrest you,
You'll arrest me.
if necessary, yeah.
For doing what?
Well, if, under Section 43 of the Terrorism Act, if we can't view the footage, we believe you're filming the back of the police station, then we'll seize the phone and we'll have to investigate whether you're...
Okay, so under
recording
duress, under the
It's not
threat.
under duress.
No,
is
of
it?
course it's under
you're being
duress.
detained for a search, aren't you?
Yeah, so under
That's
the
part
threat
of
of
the
my
search.
under the threat of my property
That
being
is part
seized.
of the search.
Obviously, I'm feeling a bit scared right now,
You
so
don't
I'm
need
going to
feel
show you the
scared. You
footage.
put yourself in this situation. You say
Okay,
you
I'm
put
going to show you the.
yourself
I'm going to
scared.
show you the footage.
Thank you, sir.
But obviously, it is under duress, yeah. So
This was the moment where legal knowledge completely changed the balance of the encounter and exposed the pressure tactics being used during the interaction. Officers tried placing the auditor into a difficult position by suggesting there were only two choices: either hand over the phone voluntarily or face possible seizure and arrest under terrorism-related powers. But the auditor immediately recognized what was happening and responded carefully by stating that any cooperation would be happening under duress, while also making sure a second camera continued recording the entire exchange. That response created a major pressure point because it clearly documented that the situation was no longer based on free consent, but on threats connected to police authority. Under Section 43 of the Terrorism Act, officers may only stop and search a person if there is reasonable suspicion that the individual is involved in terrorism, and any items seized must also be reasonably suspected evidence linked to terrorism. That means police must already have a lawful foundation before using those powers rather than applying pressure first and searching for justification afterward. The law was designed for genuine counter-terrorism investigations and not as leverage during disagreements over public filming or recording in open areas. In this encounter, the threat of seizure or arrest did not reduce the legal threshold. Officers were still required to explain specific facts supporting reasonable suspicion before relying on Section 43 powers. One of the most important moments came when the auditor used the single word duress, because it instantly reframed the entire interaction and highlighted the imbalance taking place. Strategically, that was a powerful move, since it preserved the auditor's position and made clear that any cooperation was being extracted through pressure rather than offered willingly. As the auditor continued repeating that point, the officers appeared to push harder, which only increased attention on the coercive nature of the exchange and strengthen the documented narrative being captured on camera. Situations like this show how calm legal awareness can sometimes neutralize intimidation by forcing authority figures to fully justify every action and every threat they make during an encounter. When people clearly identify pressure tactics without becoming emotional, the situation often changes, because unsupported authority loses much of its strength once it must stand against facts, law, and recorded evidence. Remaining calm, continuing to document the interaction, and understanding the legal standard can become a powerful form of protection during tense public encounters involving police powers.
Got that phone recording. Something about a PIN code. Was that the grounds, was it? Something about a PIN code?
You're watching, filming police officers. You've got one phone recording, okay? You're obstructing my search by filming on another phone. Put your phone away for the minute, you please.
I'm not obstructing anything,
Okay.
Look, it's there. No, I'm going to keep the phone in my hand. So this is what we've got. You ready, Sergeant?
Oh, that's all right.
Don't miss it, you know.
Right.
No, I'll keep it in my hand, mate. It's my property, isn't it?
We're examining it.
You can examine
we
it.
start it from the whole time that you've been here.
Alright then.
So let's go back. Thank you. You turn up a bit. You can't hear us.
There's nothing really interesting, mate. Yeah, it's not particularly interesting, to be honest.
I remember had someone coming in telling me, describing where to go. So yeah, man, this is for you. Look, we made it. Yeah, I guess we're just gonna set up shop here. Wait for them to bite. Go from there, I suppose.
So hypothetically, if I did get a PIN
Next
code,
video, please.
if I was to get a PIN code, what would happen? Like, what could I do with that? Is this like a nightclub or something? Like, why would I want to get in here? Sergeant?
I'm just listening to this.
During this part of the encounter, officers attempted to maintain control by repeatedly focusing on the phone PIN code while ordering the auditor to stop filming and accept that detention had already been justified. The auditor responded in a completely different way by calmly narrating everything happening around him while carefully questioning the legal grounds being used against him. Even though officers continued bringing up the PIN code and general filming activity, those claims alone still did not remove the requirement for real and clearly explainable suspicion before any detention or seizure could legally take place. One of the most important moments came when the auditor calmly challenged the entire theory by asking what anyone could realistically do with a simple phone PIN code in the context officers were describing. That question immediately exposed how weak and unconvincing the explanation sounded once it was tested openly with common sense and direct logic. The officers appeared focused on gaining fast, unquestioned compliance, but instead found themselves facing a detailed breakdown of their own reasoning in real time, while cameras continued recording every word. That shift changed the balance of the encounter, because the pressure was no longer only on the auditor to comply, but also on the officers to defend the credibility of the claims they were making. The more the explanation was repeated, the more fragile it appeared once calm questions started exposing the gaps inside the narrative. This became a turning point where authority started losing strength because unsupported claims became harder to defend under close scrutiny. Encounters like this show how knowledge and patience can often cut through pressure tactics far more effectively than emotional reactions or arguments. Calmly testing the logic behind official claims can quickly reveal whether the legal foundation is actually solid or based mostly on assumption and intimidation. By continuing to ask direct questions, while documenting the interaction, the auditor forced authority to carry the burden of proving its own justification, rather than simply expecting blind acceptance.
And then from that moment on, you've basically been able to see where I've been filming. So again, people, I'm not, you know, I don't want to give the phone over, but they're going to seize it.
Here, while he's filming me, there's a police officer going to the pin pad where you're filming.
Sure.
And he's about to put his pin code in there.
Okay.
Whilst you're filming.
Alright, can I make out that pin code from there? Am I zooming in there?
That video needs to be deleted and deleted from your deleted.
No, only a court order you can do that with.
Right, okay, well, seize the phone. I believe it's possible security breach of
I
first
don't
items.
think so, mate.
Yeah.
I don't think so, mate.
You've got a video of...
I can't delete it.
Right, you've got a video of a police officer. So I don't want you to delete it. But you've got a video of a police officer.
And can you make out the pin code from that video? Why don't you play it back?
Well, let's not be silly. On the side of the road, maybe not. But you've got the full video of him doing it.
Yeah, but you can't make out the pin code from that video. So I can't be deleting it. You need a court order to delete it.
I'm not going to say delete it.
So if you want to see it, so why have you said delete it? So you're going to seize it to do what? Ooh, slippery slope now, mate. This is a slippery slope.
Trying to catch people out.
Nah, I'm not trying to. Nah. Okay, so why are you talking about seizing the phone? Can I have the phone back, please?
Not at the moment.
Okay.
You're still detained for this search.
Alright, okay.
I know you think it's funny. I know you're
Nah, because this is pathetic from you, mate. Nah. Okay, so.
It's pathetic from me.
Okay, pathetic from me or pathetic from you?
If people view this footage, what do they think? That we're acting professionally, or that you're trying to wind people up?
Alright, can I have the phone back, please?
Not at the moment, sir. You're still detained for the purpose of search. Please don't snatch, alright? Okay.
Can you lock the phone?
Right,
you see what you need to see?
No, we've got one video. I can see there's other videos on there of police vehicles.
No, I think you've seen enough, mate.
No, so I'm still examining the phone. So we're going to the videos, all the other images. Can you open up the other videos, please? We've got other videos of police vehicles.
I don't think so.
Right, okay. At the moment.
Why? What are you going to do? Seize the phone for what?
I told you the phone's...
Nah, mate, this is some corrupt thing. Yeah, I've consensually shown you the phone.